questions that I get for people that have the goal of transitioning into the space of data is, what's the average salary for a data analyst? And I get that because it has to make sense, especially for someone that has the goal of upskilling within the space. But this is the thing that I always talk about. The average salary of a role does not tell the full story. For example, when I look at the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics, it's showing that data analysts make around $80,000 and upward. Think about median in its true context within the space of data. What median actually is telling us is about half the people earn more than this, and about half the people earn less than this. And when I think about that large pool of numbers, that large pool of numbers consists of people that have 10 years of experience, people who are in transportation and logistics and healthcare. It just kind of pulls everything and everyone into this one number. So that number doesn't automatically mean that it's going to be your number when you upskill within the space of data. There's more is your starting point and your trajectory. Because within the space of data, each role tends to build on the role that came before it. That's how you successfully build out your career. First role might be things like working in Excel, answering ad hoc requests, getting exposed to SQL, kind of getting familiar with how data works in its entirety. And as those skills grow, naturally your responsibility is going to increase within every single role and within every single industry. And over time, those skills are just going to keep compounding. That's how you grow. I started out just using Excel. 13 years in, I'm Excel, SQL, Python, Power BI. Like it just continues to grow. Your entry point and your trajectory is where your value comes in. Most of the students that I work with, they come from healthcare, finance, education, marketing. And the goal is never to throw away that experience. The goal is to use that experience for leverage for your next role or opportunity. That domain knowledge still very much so holds an insane amount of value. So let's talk about someone in healthcare for experience. I have a deep background in healthcare within data. Someone that comes from healthcare naturally has a deep understanding of compliance and claims and data relationships, and you're already operating in that capacity. You're dealing with ICD-9 codes and all of this data that's prevalent to the space of healthcare. That's going to be your bread and butter. Then, when they add the technical skills like SQL, Excel, Power BI, those skills on top of your existing knowledge is what is going to leverage your transition. Saying things like, okay, what's the average salary? The better question would be, okay, what type of skills get me to the salary that I want? Challenge people to do their research. Go to LinkedIn and look at data jobs within your domain. For example, if you're in education, go over there and look and see at the type of data roles that are in education and take inventory of the skills that they need, the salaries that they pay, and kind of get familiar with the language that you are consistently seeing over and over again. Go to the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics, do the research from their space. You have industries or websites like Glassdoor and Ladder and all these industries that are focused specifically on salary transparency and the data that surrounds it. Do the research because anytime you are trying to come into a space like data, it requires that critical thinking and that research anyway. Get ahead of that and start being the person to think through that and say, you know what? I'm in education. Let me go look at some data roles in education. Let me go and see on Glassdoor and see the type of roles that are posted and the salaries that are within those ranges and the industries and the locations. Like they have all these different data points that you can use and leverage. In this field, your salary is heavily influenced by your technical skill set, by the domain, by the industry. Let's say I am a data professional that is within the space of pharmaceuticals. My salary band is going to look different from someone who is within a data space in private government. Those domains that matters all the way around, and all of that is a very nuanced conversation. Another thing that matters is how well you are able to position yourself in the market and how well you are able to communicate your value. All of those things work side by side, and that directly contributes the salary that is achievable within this space. because analytics is one of those careers where your skills compound over time. I tell people all the time, I've been within data for 13 years, but I've been within healthcare, pharmaceuticals, private government, behavioral health, product line. Like I've been in so many different realms and industries within the space of data. Hey, focus on the skills, focus on what you bring to the table, and understand that your skills pay the bills.